Next we have Masa Gamiro.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Masa Gamiro. I just completed my studies with a master's degree in data science from St. Mary's College in Notre Dame, Indiana. When you drive your car every morning, how many of you actually take the time to check your tire pressure for all 4 tires every day? Probably the only person in the building who does that. Most of us don't do that. Why? Because technology's got your back. We have the latest diagnostic tools in our vehicles that will notify you, when you have issues with tire pressure. How many physically count the number of steps they take? Nobody does that because technology has got your back. We have these IoT sensors in these watches and Fitbit that track all the steps you take, and so technology is able to answer these questions for you. So for my capstone project, I was interested in building some kind of technology solution that can be used in third world countries where they don't have the latest and the greatest of technology to do industrial monitoring, where they can use technology to monitor operations within commercial projects, factories, and thereby reducing operational costs. The idea for this project came from a trip I went to Zimbabwe in March of this year. I got to meet an IT director of the largest beverage company in Zimbabwe, and I was asking, what are some of your technical challenges? And he was saying that their greatest expense for their service delivery team is fuel consumption and tire replacement. And as you can see, Zimbabwe, with its economic challenges, has terrible roads. And so whenever you drive in tires on terrible roads, they're underinflated, those tires don't last very long. So I started thinking of how can I come up with some kind of a prototype or an idea to provide them a better way to monitor their tires without relying on the driver to walk around the trucks every day to check the tires. And the idea of this technology solution will be to lower fuel consumption costs and also to increase the useful life of the tires. If a tire is properly inflated, it obviously lasts much longer. So for this project, I decided to build my own TPMS system, which is my own tire pressure monitoring system. For such a solution, I decided to use IoT, which is the Internet of Things, where we now have all these sensors and devices that can collect data and then share data, exchange data via the internet. And I was going to use the data science, data analysis techniques we learned in school. But for such a system, I required 4 key things. It has to be able to collect data from the sensors. And then it has to be able to ingest that data into some cloud platform where you can access that data through the internet from anywhere in the world. And that system should be able to store that data for future analysis or trend analysis. And then lastly, that system should be able to allow you to do real-time data analysis, whereas you're driving your car, you can see what your tire pressure is. So this is the architecture that I used to build my solution. I bought some IoT sensors on Amazon, put them on my vehicle. I bought a computing device to put in these older trucks that don't really have computers in there. On this computing device, I wrote some computer programs that read data from the sensor to the computing device, connected this to my cell phone, and now I take this data from the computing device, I push it into the cloud platform. Within the cloud platform, I stored that data, and then in real time, I built a web app on my phone where drivers can see tire pressure in real time, but also your fleet manager from the comfort of their office, they could see the tire pressure on 100 vehicles without ever leaving the comfort of their office. So this project this is an example of the real-time dashboard I built. I'd driven the car for a while, and once I stopped the car, as the vehicle was cooling down, you could see the tire pressure was dropping a little bit in my 4 tires. So this project was really fun. It had some costs, it was challenging. I spent about $400 buying the computing device, programming it, buying the sensors, as well as the cloud solution platform. In the future, I want to build more of this prototype. I want to use radio frequency sensors instead of Bluetooth sensors. And then I want to automate a notification system where if a tire is low, you get notified a vehicle number 5, tire number 2 needs to be serviced. And then I want to also research cheaper solutions for open source technology. Now, what did I learn from my PMS program? I learned a lot. Besides the technology stack, I learned a lot about project management skills. And the greatest thing this program gave me was the confidence to venture into IoT. I didn't know anything about IoT when I was on this program, but it gave me all the basic skills I needed to be able to jump into an arena I was not familiar with. So as you leave today, you can go back, when you get into your car, just feel comfortable, because you know technology's got your back. You don't have to check any tires, you know, and we're hoping to bring that same comfort to Africa, where they can use technology to do industrial processing. My name is Masa Gomero from St. Mary's College, and I approve this message. Yes.
Hi. Do you have a great IT infrastructure to collect data from any sensor process? They're all great.
Yes.
But here it may be a little bit overkill, but all I need to do is, if it can show the tire pressure in my dashboard, okay, that's all I need. But anyway, the main issue here is, how do you know your measurements are correct? What did you do?
So for my vehicle, what I did for my specific car and my tire, I looked at what are the recommended tire pressure for that particular vehicle, that particular tire. And then I had the machine learning algorithm actually where I properly inflated the tires. I drove it, it's tracking to see what the normal temperature was. So it was able to know within 32 PSI to 36 PSI, that's an acceptable range. And when the car gets warmer, pressure may go up and lower. So with my anomaly detection model, once you went outside of that acceptable range, it gave you a notification, hey, something's wrong with this tire pressure, you may need to take a look at it. If it was outside of the normal recommended range, as well as the range that I trained the model to understand was an acceptable range.
Did you also measure by hand the pressure?
Well, I had I was limited, I didn't have a real lab to do all the tests. But what I did, I had, on the sensor, you type the sensor on the knob if you call off the tire. If you push the sensor down, it'll release air. So even as it was deflating the tire, I was still able to collect that data. Because I wanted to simulate the idea of a leaking tire. What do you do when you have a leaking tire? So as I pushed it for like 5 minutes, the air was coming out, I was able to collect the data, and then the algorithm let me know, hey, this is outside of the acceptable range. So now I need to build some kind of a notification to say, hey, we're below this range, send the ticket to the service department. Yes, sir.
So by the way, I don't check my tires manually, I press the button, I still check them computer-wise. So interesting, how do you factor in your algorithm calculations for temperature change in Zimbabwe versus your model looking in, say, coming from New England, fluctuation?
Exactly, yeah, that's one of the things actually my head of department, I think asked me when I presented this project was, what are the factors? I started to look at other factors like, humidity, altitude, pressure, as well as we even thought about having different drivers drive the same car to see if, a reckless driver and a good driver, if the model is able to react to that. We didn't get to do all that, but those are some of the things I want to be able to look at, pressure, outside pressure, outside temperature. Does it behave different in New England compared to in nice and sunny Florida?
Great, thank you so much.